Hey, thank you for coming back. And today I'd like to talk to you about an audio amplifier. And this is it. This is the AK380 audio amplifier. Let me just give you a quick look around real quick. And we'll get more into it in just a moment. But first, let me start telling you what you get in the box. You get a power adapter, which is a barrel power adapter on one end. As you can tell, you got a figure 8 plug right here. Right here's a little blue light to tell you when it's plugged in. There's some of the specs of it right there. You do get the cord to plug into the power adapter, which is a figure 8, and it's a 2-prong US. You get a remote control. You get an FM antenna. And you get some instructions. On one side, they kind of tell you everything about the panels, the front and back panels. This side, they just tell you more about the remote control. And just to let you see, this is the box that it comes in. Pretty basic information on the sides and everything, but that's about it. And it does come pretty well packed. It's a nice styrofoam type or foam type internals to kind of keep it protected while it's in transit, so that's pretty nice. Now, the way you plug it in obviously is right here. This is the power port. This is for your speakers. They're spring activated. You pull it down, stick the wire in, let it go, and it connects. Of course, you got some venting for heat. You got RCA jacks right here. You got an auxiliary port, right there. And this little white square is where you plug your FM antenna in. Yes, you actually get FM radio on this thing. On the front, you got these two ports, which is a USB or SD card port. This is your on and off switch. As you can tell, your bass and treble. This is your volume knob. And then right up here, you got mode, repeat, skip tracks, play and pause. And of course, it has this little window here will light up. If you give me a moment here, let me get this all kind of ready so I can plug it in and show you what it does. There's meaning the power is going into the power brick. And let me just plug this in and turn it on. As you can tell, you got some LEDs right here for the volume switch. And then you got, right now it says line on there. And if I change the EQ, now nothing's going to happen while I'm in here. It also has Bluetooth. And you can do things in here like on the remote control, you got your play, pause, track skips there. You got your volume up and down. There's two different types of volumes. And I'll get to that in a minute. You got your power on and off. You got a whole bunch of things that you can do. And there's EQ, which I do go through in the test video, which is going to be about 7 minutes long. So bear with me. You got your main volume here. But if you use the remote control, I don't know if it's going to do it on here or not. Oh, there's you can go from 0, which is pretty much off, all the way up to 30. And then when you power it on and off, okay, let me hit all it does is shut this off. To turn power completely off to the unit, you have to use the physical button. So in a way, it's kind of more like a standby instead of a power button. So you still have to really use the power button here, the main power button to turn it on and off. And I like how they do include these buttons up here, so if you happen to lose the remote control or it breaks or whatever, you can still kind of control everything up here. Now, it does have Bluetooth 5.0, or at least that's what they claim. It connects. You could play audio either through the RCA jacks, obviously Bluetooth, or one of these two things, the SD card and the USB port. Let me see what else. And, well, when I first saw this unit, I seen it on Temu, and then something told me to check eBay. And when I found it on eBay, it was actually cheaper on eBay than it was on Temu. So I decided to buy it from eBay, not Temu. And of course, being Temu, being them the way they are, they really don't give you a whole lot of specs. But on eBay, they give you a whole lot of specs, which just before the test video, I give you a whole bunch of charts for this stuff. Now on eBay, it says one of the big things on the main picture is 800W. Well, that's the model number. It's not 800 watts. To be honest with you, I really don't know how many watts this thing really is. I'm going to say it's anywhere from 10 to 20 watts. And let me tell you why. Because as I was looking on eBay, yes, I printed some stuff up. Right here, you see RMS, 40 watt, 40 watt, max power, 400 watt, 400 watt. But then if you scroll down a little bit more, right there, 20 watt by 20 watt. So I'm thinking this little thing is more like anywhere from 10 to 20 watts output power through your speakers. Now I have some 100 watt bookshelf speakers from Onkyo that I'm going to be using in the test video for you to listen to. I even crank up this thing all the way, and if it was a 400 watt output power max, it would have blew those speakers, and it didn't blow the speakers. So without further ado, let me show you this test video, then let me come back and tell you my final thoughts and why I bought this amplifier. Okay, here's the power amp right there. I got the remote in my hand. Got it hooked up to my two bookshelf speakers for right now, the Onkyos, which are 100 watt speakers. First thing I'm going to test is a USB drive. You just simply plug it on in, turn it on, and it's going to automatically play. We turn the volume up. Hands up all the way. Let me turn it down to a reasonable volume. Now I'm going to adjust the bass all the way down. All the way up. Treble is all the way up. Let me turn the treble all the way down. Now, here's the remote control for the skip track. Yeah, I like the song. I'll turn it up. Now, I only got 6 songs on here, so right back to the beginning. Now, what I'm going to do is show you the volume on here. And I'm not sure if you're going to see it in the video, but right here in this little blue LED, you're going to see it go from 30 all the way down. Let me turn it up. Volume. and turn it back up again. You can even pause it, play, all with the remote control. Next, I am going to put an SD card in. And one of the good things I noticed about this power amp, I'll tell you after I'm done putting in an SD card instead of the thumb drive. Be right back. Okay, one thing I noticed about this power amp when you have either an SD card in it or a flash drive, as soon as you turn it on, if there's music on either one of these, and I mean maybe just music, I haven't tried it with anything else, it automatically plays. Watch. You do have a couple preset EQs right there, and I'll go through them right now. And it will show up on this little blue screen, not sure once again if you'll see it, but I'm going to go through them. I keep doing this. There's only 5. Okay, hold on. Let me turn this down a little bit. There's only 5 preset EQs. I put it on EQ 0, which is the default, because I think that one sounds the best. And once again, the pause feature. And let me turn this back up. And play again. And once again, let me show you the feature again. Now it's going to default to the first song. It always reverts back to the original or the very first song once you power it back on. Okay, so there's no memory in this thing. And, okay, hopefully that was a good example about playing audio through this amplifier for not with just a thumb drive, but an SD card. So hopefully that was a good example for you. Okay, so right now what you are hearing is audio coming from the RCA inputs of the amplifier. I made this video a little bit just for this test because I didn't want any copyright strikes or anything on YouTube. So I just thought I would do this, give you a little bit of audio, just to prove to you that yes, you can use the RCA jacks to have audio coming into the amplifier and out through the speakers. Now the way I did this is, of course I am using my iPad 9th generation. I have a cable going into the headphone jack, which is a 3.5 millimeter plug, and it splits out into 2 RCA jacks or plugs that are going into the amplifier, and that is what you are hearing right now. Okay, now let's get back to the review and my final thoughts about this amplifier. Okay, I really do hope you enjoyed that test video. Sorry that it was so long, but I really wanted to show you a lot about this amplifier and what it can do. And actually, let me unplug it right now. So why did I buy this? Well, since I had those bookshelf speakers sitting around and not really doing anything anymore, and I really want a decent sound from my flat screen TV or my smart TV, whatever you want to call it, I didn't want to spend anywhere from like $300 to a couple $1,000. Yes, sound bars can cost a couple $1,000. I didn't even want to spend like, $200-300 on one. So this was like $24 on eBay. And I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what happens. So what I plan on doing, and then what I have been doing, is I use this plus the Onkyo speakers you've seen in the test video as my sound bar for my TV. And I will admit, this thing does really, really well. It does pump out enough volume for me because, the room I got my TV in and I watch TV in is, it's not that big. This thing definitely pumps out enough volume, and the bass and treble in here is really good enough for me to enjoy what I'm watching, whether it be movies, YouTube videos, or whatever the heck I'm doing. This thing performs very, very well. The biggest question is longevity. How long will it last? But then again, I look at it this way. Look, I paid under, let's just round it up to $25 for this thing. If it lasts me 2 years, I'll be happy with it for $25. To me, that's great. So for me, I'm going to say this is a excellent buy to get if you don't want to spend all that money on a sound bar. And especially if you got some speakers, some older type speakers from some old stereos laying around. But I would say make sure they're at least able to handle 50 watts on the speakers. Because even if this only outputs 20 watts per channel on the back here, that's one channel, that's the second channel. You want your speakers to handle way more than the 20 watts, just so you don't hear distortion and possibly blow them out. Trust me, that's really what you should do. Even if their speakers say they're 20 watts or 25 watts, I would try to look for something, 40 watts and more. Me, personally, I would say try to find some 50-watt speakers because they're going to definitely be able to handle any form of power load coming from here or audio bursts, if you will. Like when something gets really, really loud, this tends to send out a little bit more of a signal and everything. And the higher wattage rating on your speakers means it'll be able to handle more power and without giving you distortion or blowing the speakers out. But really, it's up to you to decide whether you want to get this power amp. Personally, like I said, I think this thing is a great little amp to get if you don't want to spend all that kind of money on a sound bar. Like I said, just as long as you have some, even if you have to buy speakers like on eBay for, like, say you bought some, like say you spend $50 on a pair of speakers off of eBay and they're in great working condition, and you spend $25 on this, still a heck of a lot cheaper than some of these sound bars out there, and you're going to get, to me, you're going to get better audio because my bookshelf speakers, they're actually bigger drivers than the ones in the sound bar, so I'm getting better audio for a lot cheaper price. So yeah, I think getting this little power amp to substitute for a soundbar is a really cool thing to have. And and I like the option of having either a thumb drive or a SD card in there, or Bluetooth to play whatever music I want to through this little thing and through my speakers. So it's a great little amplifier to get. And I do like the idea of it having a remote. It did pick up some of my FM radio stations, but I don't think this antenna was really long enough. So, if anything, you can strip a little bit of this off here and get some real good copper wire, solder some on there, make your antenna a little bit longer. But then again, I really don't listen to the radio much anymore because it's all kind of crap anyway and filled with way too many commercials. But enough said. Sorry this video went on for so long, but I really wanted to try to give you a really good example of how this thing works and how it sounds. So hopefully I did that for you. I'm going to leave the link for eBay down below, not the one on Temu. Because, not to mention, Temu would have taken about 2 weeks for this to come, where I got this off eBay and it came within 5 days. So, why not? Alright, if you happen to like this video, please give it that thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget about that notification bell. It would really help me out a lot if you were to share this video and a few more of my others on all of your social media. And until the next video, you, your friends, your family, and yes, even all of your pets, you all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.